I'm Andy from Go Kayaking, and we're here today to talk to you about how to outfit your new Whitewater kayak. We have a Stout 2 version here, and by the end of the video you're going to know how to be snug and connected so that you can get the most out of your new Whitewater kayak. So what we want with our outfitting to get the most out of it is to be snug and comfortable rather than being tight and stiff. So a lot of people put lots of foam in their kayak to try and really cram them in. What that ends up doing is making the paddle really tight and robotic. That leads to numbness, soreness, tiredness, and you don't get the most out of your boat. Because what we're going to do today is learn how to make it snug and comfortable so that you can be connected when you need to be connected, but also be able to relax when you want to relax on the river. So we're looking at the Pyranha Stout 2 outfitting today. This is the concepts are applicable to pretty much every outfitting. We're going to look at the footrest and where to put the footrest, the thigh grips and how they adjust, the hip pads and how they can come in to cinch you in, the seat and how it lifts up and moves forwards and backwards, as well as the backrest and positioning that backrest to give you the optimum performance. With your outfitting, with your boat, you get the an outfitting pack with everything you need to get it nice and snug, a full plate footrest for your footrest, and a welcome pack from Pyranha with a 4mm Allen key. Now everything on the Stout 2 outfitting adjusts on this one 4mm Allen key, which is great. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do when we're jumping in our kayak for the first time is get kitted up. It's really important as to wear your boots when you're outfitting. It might be useful getting some thermals and your dry suit on as well if that's what you're going to be paddling in. So get kitted up. Once you're kitted up, the first thing you want to change is the footrest. You want to get the footrest positioned as you want to position it. That then alters where your thigh grips are, it alters the angle of your hips, and it alters where you sit on the seat. So the first thing we do is adjust the footrest, and you do that with these thumb nuts just in here. So we just undo these thumb nuts. I use the center console to put your thumb nuts in so you don't lose them. Take the rails off the bolts. Once you're kitted up, sit inside the boat and work out where you want the footrest. So a top tip with the footrest is we don't want our feet to be flat on the footrest like this. That's going to lead to cramping in the calf and in the thigh here. What you want is the tip of your toes and the balls of your feet to be touching the footrest. And that means that when you want to put the power down, you can put the power down when you need to. But being like this gives you no flexibility in your position. Tips of the toes, balls of your feet, that's where you're going to be pushing. Once you've decided where your footrest needs to go, put the aluminium bar on the bolt. Really don't be afraid to get in there and move the aluminium bar as you need to really get it on the nuts. Once you're happy with it, screw the thumb nut in and do the same for the other side. I just put the one nut on for now because we're going to be moving it again later. So the next step, once the footrest is adjusted, is to take a look at the thigh grips. The Stout 2 thigh grips are very long. They give you a maximum connectivity, and it's important to position them right. If they're positioned too far back, you can end up with straighter legs, which can tighten you up. And if they're positioned too far forward, they can end up not giving you the connectivity that you want. So the position of the thigh grip is really important. We tend to want the thigh grip to be as far back and as close to you as possible without pinching down too much. And here we can see there's a little bit of pinching here towards the back, and overall that looks pretty good. That looks like exactly what you want from your thigh grips. I'm going to show you how to quickly adjust them to make sure you get the right fit for you. So to move the thigh grip, the first thing I like to do is isolate it. It's connected to the backrest at the moment with the backrest strap, and I like to take the backrest strap out altogether just to isolate the thigh grip. To do that, you punch the red and the grey bit of the ratchet buckle together, take that out all the way, and now we have an isolated thigh grip that we can adjust. To adjust it, take your 4mm Allen key out of your pack and just unscrew the top bolt all the way out. Put the bolt in the center console, and now the thigh grip should slide all the way forwards and all the way backwards. So once you've found the desired position for the thigh grip, you put the bolt back in. So you line the brass insert in with the hole that's desired, put the screw back in, use your Allen key, do it up all the way. Once it's back in, don't forget to put your ratchet strap back in. To make this easier, you can bend the ratchet strap slightly, which gives it a forwards curve, which means it's easier to put it back in the buckle. Once you've done one side, make sure you do the exact same on the other side. You want the outfitting on the right hand side to be the same as the left hand side. So once we've moved the thigh grips into our desired position, we now need to look at the seat height. The Pyranha seats are designed to be as low as possible, which lowers your centre of gravity and makes you feel more stable in the kayak. Now some people feel like they need to lift the seat up, because quite often the most voluminous part of the boat is right in front of you, and you need the extra assistance in lifting yourself over that big voluminous part of the boat. Their thumbs and their elbows might be touching the side of the boat when they're paddling, and it's usually a good idea just to lift the seat up a little bit. I'm going to show you how to do that next. So we want to lift the seat height just a touch, and this is the first time we're going to delve into our outfitting pack. These are our seat heightening shims, and these just tuck underneath the seat pad, the seat liner. Position them as you wish. Once that's done, we're going to move on to the hip pads. The hip pads here are designed to, they're large, they're bucketed, they're soft, they're supple, and they give you that connectivity around your hips. They're fully adjustable, and all you need to do is reach behind the seat pillar for this buckle here, and you should be able to loosen that buckle, take the hip pad off the seat, and this is where we add and take away hip pads. In our outfitting pack, we given 6 hip pad shims, and you can add and take away as many as you wish. The aim here is to cinch you in and give you the connectivity at the hips. This makes your hip flick more effective, which makes your roll more effective, makes your correction strokes more effective. But it's really important that you don't go too tight, because this is one area, whereas if you're cinched in at the hips, this can stop blood flow to your legs. So it's really important to have a snug fit, not too tight. In this example, we're going to use 2 shims. Once you put the shims in, flip it back, stick it back to the seat pillar, and then tighten up the buckle just here. When you've done one side, make sure you do the exact same to the other side. So we've added 2 hip pad shims on the right side, we're going to do the exact same to the left hand side. Excellent, perfect, that's looking really good. Our backrest moves up and down, as well as forwards and backwards. And the idea of the backrest is to give your back the back support to keep you in a vertical neutral position. But we don't want it too tight, we don't want it to be too loose. And this is all controlled on the buckles and the bungees. To adjust the height, we tighten the bungees, and then we can loosen off the seat height adjustment strap, which is this buckle here. And then we can also tighten this blue buckle, which tightens the backrest and brings it forward. There we go. And that looks like a very supported backrest. You can adjust the backrest once you're in the boat by using the ratchet buckle here. Just pull the buckle, and you'll see how it goes forward on both sides. So the Stout 2 seat that we have here is solid, it's reliable, it's very secure, and it comes from the factory in the middle position, and it is designed to adjust forwards and backwards, usually 2 to 3 centimetres forwards and 2 to 3 centimetres backwards. When we adjust the seat on a whitewater kayak, it has a big impact on how the boat performs. When we move the seat backwards, we tend to dig the stern in and lift the front out. That can have a positive effect if you want a more playful boat, but have a negative effect from a stability point of view. If you move it forward, into the forward position, you can engage the front rails and lift the stern out. It's pros and cons, so it's worth considering that before adjusting the kayak. If you want to adjust the seat from a comfort point of view, it's usually a better idea to play with the thigh grips or the footrest first before adjusting the seat, just because of the effects that that adjusting the seat can have on the performance of the kayak. To adjust the seat, we use our 4mm Allen key that came with the outfitting pack, and we take these 4 bolts out here. The bolts come out all the way, a plate comes out from underneath, and then we move the seat forwards and backwards to our desired position. So once the bolts are out, you can see where the holes are on the seat pillar. What I tend to do with this is using my finger, I can feel when the bolts here are lining up with the holes. Once they're lined up, I give it a half turn, line this one up, give that one a half turn. So I can feel with my finger that the bolts are threading on the bolts, and then tighten them evenly from there. Okay, so the final thing is to fix the footrest. So the footrest we brought it forward to how we wanted it to fit, and now we need it to fit the foam pad. This foam pad is really important to fit, and it's important to fit it properly as well. So there's 2 benefits to this foam pad. This acts as a bit of a crumple zone for your feet and your legs. So if you have an impact on a rock, this is going to take the impact. And secondly, it's important to get a good seal around the footrest so there's no gaps between the footrest and the inside of the boat. And that's what this is there for. So we've already brought the footrest forward for our shoes, and now we need to move it back 2 notches to accommodate for the thickness of this pad. Once we've moved the footrest back 2 notches, we then need to take a measurement. So a maximum height and a maximum width. And that should give us a good guide as to where to cut this out. So once it's cut, it should look something like this. We here use a bandsaw to cut this out. That gives us a nice smooth finish. It takes a little less effort. You can also use a jigsaw. A lot of people use a bread knife, which is also absolutely fine. That's probably the tool that most people have at home. And once you've drawn your outline, just take the bread knife and cut along it. Before we fit this, we just want to check that when this is stuck in, that we're still going to be as comfortable as possible in our kayak. Once it's stuck down, it's very difficult to get it off the footrest, so we're just going to slot it in and make sure that it fits. Once we're happy that we're going to be comfortable in our kayak once this is fitted, we now need to take the footrest out. This is a great opportunity to add a bow airbag to our kayak, as well as secure the footrest, the foam pad properly. Bow airbags are really important in whitewater kayaking. It's really important to have both bow and stern airbags. A bow airbag would go in front of your footrest, inside the kayak obviously, and that would give the front buoyancy. So if you were to swim, the boat would swim and float down the water level. Without a bow airbag, what's likely to happen is the front of the boat will fill with water. It will float down the river like this, making it very difficult to rescue. And it also means that the front of the boat is going to take all of the damage against the rocks on the bottom of the river. So it's really important to have a bow airbag in there as well. We're going to take the footrest out, and to do that we need to take out our centre pillar. It's really easy to take out, and it does mean that accessing the front of the boat it makes it a lot easier. So using our 4mm Allen key, we're just going to unscrew these 2 screws. Once you've taken those 2 out, there are 2 black nuts on the inside at the bottom of the pillar. We just need to loosen them. Take them all the way out. That's what we have. And then the centre pillar comes all the way out. Once we've done that, we can undo the thumb nuts. Before we do that, it's well worth remembering what position your footrest is in now. So I count the empty holes and just make sure that when we put the footrest back in, it's in the same position. So yeah, we've peeled the sticky back off. We're just going to kneel on it. Bow airbag goes in. Keep a hold of the tube because we need to access this tube to inflate it. Pop your footrest back in. And now secure the footrest back in the position that it was. Once that's secure, you can put the centre pillar back in, and we just reverse the process. So our white bar goes through first. Tuck the pillar underneath the cockpit, do up the black nut. Align the brass inserts at the top of the cockpit for the screws, and now we can just put it all back together, tighten it all up. The final thing is the tube for the bow airbag. At the moment it's just loose inside the kayak, and we just need to tidy that up so we don't get tangled in it. These tubes tend to be quite long, so you can inflate and deflate without having to take the footrest out. So we're just going to cable tie this to the sidebars, to the aluminium sidebars, just making sure that it's really tight and snug and there's no chance that anything can get trapped behind it. Don't forget to add your stern airbags to the boat. These just go in behind the seat. The final thing to do with your boat, once you're sat inside, your knees will be touching the inside of the kayak here, once everything's set up. And to make that comfortable, we've got some knee pads. These go on the inside of the kayak where your knee touches the inside of the boat. And to get these fitted, just peel that back and stick it on the inside. Tend to lift the fabric part of the thigh grip up to get a proper fit, and then just stick this where your knee touches the boat. Finally, in our outfitting pack, we have a self-adhesive closed mini cell foam roll, and you can literally do whatever you want with this. So this is a metre wide. You can peel the yellow paper back, and it sticks into anywhere in the kayak. A lot of the people like to add this to the seat if you feel like you need more than 2 seat shims. You can cut a bit of this out and put it underneath the seat. Some people like to build up around the thigh grip area to get an extra bit of connectivity there. Some people use it as extra hip pads or extra protection on their feet or part of the heel block. This is really, you can do whatever you want with it. If you need that extra bit of connectivity, this is what that's there for. And then one last check I like to do before I head out on the water is make sure all my bolts are tight. Great, so we are done now, we're ready to hit the water. Our boat is as comfy as we can make it, and we're feeling nice and connected, we're good to go. Outfitting is a bit of trial and error, and hopefully now you have a really good understanding of how the outfitting adjusts to fit you and what we're aiming to achieve here. With all that, as your body shape changes, as what you're wearing changes, and as your paddling style changes, you might need to make some micro adjustments, but now you have a good understanding of that. If you have any other questions about outfitting and how to get it right, please give us a call or drop us an email. We'd be more than happy to help get it right for you. Thanks for watching.